Hello, this is Jessica with On a Stack of Books, and today we're going to do a book review. We're reading Jaws. This is a fantastic summer read. This book was published in 1974 and the movie came out in 1975. And I don't think that there has ever been a book and movie that has premiered that close together. The rights, the movie rights or the screen rights were sold before this book was even published. So they were obviously working on the movie and they had it out super fast. So the book came out and then boom, the movie was out. And so that's just a little fun fact. This is one of those ones where I definitely saw the movie first, watched it countless times. If it's on, I put it on. It's just one of those ones that I would have on as a background. Iconic movie, everybody knows the music, everybody knows what it's about. And the movie follows the book pretty well as far as the storyline. Of course, they sensationalize the shark and his aggression much more in the movie. But for me, the biggest difference between the book and the movie is, you've got Brody, the main character, the chief, and his wife, Ellen. In the movie, Ellen, her character is much more subdued. It is much more secondary to him, and she's the wife and she's the mother. In the book, her character is much more developed, and she has several areas that don't include her husband, and so I was just surprised that there was that big difference. So something in the book that does not happen in the movie at all. And so as I was reading it, I was like, whoa, I didn't expect that. But so this is in New York. It's in Amity, New York, and everybody knows the story. So I'm not going to go into like what the, storyline is because everybody knows Jaws. But there are the people that live year round, and then there are the summer people that come. They come in vacation and they come in, and there is a very clear distinction between the summer people and the year round people in the book. It's in the movie as well, but it's much more pronounced in the book. And the year-round people, they're struggling. The town is struggling. They rely on these tourists, and so they scrape by. And then you've got these people coming in for the summer, and that's all the money. That's all the influx. Brody, the chief, he grew up and has always been a year-rounder, and his wife, Ellen, she grows up as a summer person coming in, and then of course they fall in love and have children, get married, and she becomes a year-rounder. And he always has this sort of attitude that she went slumming when she went with him, or she is slumming by being with him. And it like he loves his wife, but you can tell that it sort of bothers him. And in the movie, you don't get that from her. But in the book, she feels it in her own way. She misses that lifestyle. She misses the friend groups and the tennis lessons and everything that came with being these summer people and living that lifestyle. And she doesn't want to leave her husband, and she doesn't want to move, but she just misses it. And so it's a reminder every summer when they come, sort of like, oh, I used to live like that. And sometimes she wants to just get a taste of it every now and then. And so that distinction plays a role just in how they interact. So that was the main thing that I thought, it was just much more clear. And there is a passage on page 49 where he is on the beach. He's looking at these, the whole collectively group of people that have come in, the summer people, but really the children, and just how his perception of these people. And so this is just a little excerpt from him. But privilege had been bred into them with genetic certainty. As their eyes were blue or brown, so their tastes and conscience were determined by other generations. They had no vitamin deficiencies, no sickle cell anemia. Their teeth, thanks either to breeding or to orthodontia, were straight and white and even. Their bodies were lean, their muscles toned by boxing lessons at age 9, riding lessons at 12, and tennis lessons ever since. They had no body odor. When they sweated, the girls smelled faintly of perfume. The boys smelled simply clean. And it really stuck with me, that perception that we can see, create, assume when you look at a person or a group of people, and just, he doesn't even think that they smell bad. He doesn't even think that when they sweat, they could possibly smell bad. They don't have any diseases. They don't have any hardships. They're just living their best life on his beach, and his job is to protect them. And then of course it's, Jaws and this crazy thing that happens, and what they're going to do. The chances of finding someone who has never seen the movie before is going to be really hard. Usually people have seen Jaws, but even if you've seen it many, many times, I still think this is worth the read, and especially take it to the beach and get into the water and read it. There is a place, maybe it's in Amity, in New York, where they do a nighttime movie theater situation where you're in the water, which I just, I would do that. That would it would be nerve-wracking, and you think it's kind of crazy, but it just adds to that. It's almost that cult following of the iconic films and books that people get into. But this is my husband's tank top. I had to cinch it in the back because it was so big, but I was like, we had gotten this for summer, so I thought I would wear this. And then I have sharks on my hat. So it's a really quick review. Here's my cute little from my beads and books that I had done with this particular book, my bookmark here. But it's just a fun read. And I think I used to shy away from reading a book if I had seen the movie because I already know what happens. But always you're going to get into the characters' heads and gain more knowledge and more understanding. And so I think it's worth it. And I'm really speaking to myself, but anybody, this is one of those ones, like I said, it would be hard to find someone who has not seen this movie. I picked this up in a thrift store, and I remember somebody saw it in my cart, and he's like, "Are you actually going to read that?" And I was like, "Yes." So this is one of my summer reads, and it's also a reread, and so definitely recommend it. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll be reading.